I think. All right, cool. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Real Talk. John here. And as you can tell, before I say anything else, this is a spoiler-filled spoiler talk with me and my special guest, Rama from Rama Screen of Avengers Infinity War. So if you have not seen the movie, please stay tuned tomorrow for my non-spoiler review of the film. But if you guys did see it, you guys just came home like I did and just have kind of you want someone to talk to about it, feel free to chime in the live chat and we'll try to answer your questions and get back to you. So without further ado, my guest, Rama from Rama Screen. How you doing, man?
Good, brother John. Thank you again for having me. It's always a pleasure.
No problem, man. No problem. So first off, I want to get to you. You actually saw the movie a few days earlier, right?
Yes, sir. I've had the fortune of attending the press screening at El Capitan, thanks to Disney and Marvel, and I had a blast.
And so first of all, I just want to get to your quick first thoughts. What were your first initial reactions to the film?
All right, so just to confirm, I can spoil things, right? Good. Okay.
Yes.
All right. So right after the end credits and post credit scene, and I got out of the theater, and man, I couldn't shake off the feeling of like, holy crap, they actually went there. They actually, they actually did it. Because it's all these superhero movies. The good guy's gonna win. It's happy ending, or if there's even a hint of tragic, it'll get resolved at the end. But no, man. I mean, it's good because we need heartbreaks from time to time. Kind of keeps us humble. That's how I see it. And what happened at the end of Infinity War, I was like, oh snap! See, something's wrong. They didn't work together as a team enough, or whatever it is, because Thanos won and half of the universe died. Holy crap! And then also the way they dust away some of our beloved characters is just impressive. Like when Black Panther was holding Michonne, I forgot Michonne's characters, the Naigurira's character. And I was like, okay, which of these two is gonna go away? It's like, oh no, it's like they take away even they're brave enough to take away even the lead characters. You know what I'm saying? That's how bold this movie is. It's like, man, that's right. We just did that. That's what they're saying to us. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, exactly, man. I was surprised in that as well too. I mean, the whole film, to me, was just it just went up and it kind of never went down, but yeah, you're right. Just at the end, when everybody kind of just fades away, you're right. I thought it was going to be Denai's character, but they took away Black Panther, and also Spider-Man and Star Lord and you're right. They kind of pulled a Game of Thrones sort of Walking Dead on us ending. Kind of just Thanos sits back and smiles, and then it ends, and it's just like, well, the heroes are supposed to win. What do you mean? So I have to applaud Marvel for having the balls to do that. Obviously, we do know there's a part two or a sequel of sorts coming next year, so we'll see how it all gets resolved or if it gets resolved. And that little post-credit scene too, alluding to Captain Marvel. We do have some people here at the chat. We have Coach Movies and also Tyler Calvert. So welcome, guys. Coach Movies says I'm shaking, and yeah, literally, I feel him, man. And then Tyler Calvert is saying Captain Marvel will save the MCUs. Yeah, I hope she does. I hope she saves some of our beloved characters. I was still waiting though. I don't know if you, Rama, were waiting for like an Ant-Man or Hawkeye to come in the last minute and somehow try to do something. Did you think they were gonna pop up or no?
No, here's what's funny. Because Ant-Man's not in the movie, and Ant-Man and the Wasp is coming up. So I'm guessing the story is set in a different, not in the same time as happening as Thanos. You know what I'm saying? Because then, if that's the case, I mean, if the case is in the same timeline, then it'll be funny if Ant-Man and the Wasp were like busy, flying or running, and then the Wasp just dust away.
Yeah,
it kind of just made me. I was like, what is happening? But my theory is, and I told my friend this, I think as far as Captain Marvel goes, because the movie is set in the 90s, my favorite era, by the way, cool. That's the origin story, right? How she came to be Captain Marvel. That'll be the entire movie, and then the post-credit scene will be set in the present day when she receives that distress signal from Nick Fury. I think that's what it ties to Avengers 4. At least, that's what I'm guessing. At least.
Yeah, I think you definitely have to, like, someone like a character like Captain Marvel. You do have to have her origin story and how she got those powers with the Kree and everything like that. So I think that's a good theory. I think that's going to happen. It would be cool to kind of see at the end of the movie her get it and kind of like try to figure out what she can do. But I think that would be in Avengers 4, if anything, because that would be too much for a Captain Marvel movie,
That's
and we kind of have to get introduced to her, Brie Larson, the beautiful Brie Larson, and kind of her world and stuff like that. So I think it'll be too much. But was there any deaths that kind of surprised you in the film? I know there was one. To be honest, I wasn't. I kind of came into the movie, okay, you know what? Anybody dying is, anybody is up for grabs, But there was one death that kind of, I was like, oh man, like they actually went there,
Which one?
Oh, okay. That was Gamora. I thought she, for some reason, I did have a feeling that she was gonna die, but just the way they did it, that whole character arc with her and Thanos, which I think we're gonna have to get into Thanos a little bit. But I don't know. I just thought she would die another way, but just the way they killed her off was amazing.
Yeah, good point. Well, I guess I was a little bit disappointed because I was hoping, Tony Stark or Captain America, because that's what people have been talking about, might potentially die. But it's like, wow, they got saved instead. So I was like, I don't know what to feel about that. I was like, oh, I was rooting for either Iron Man or Captain America to die. But yeah, it goes to show again that the way they throw the curveball, man, and they actually, like you said, they're really ballsy. And I want to also make one funny comment here, that it cracks me up that Thanos at the end ends up in my country. The rice paddy field and
yeah. Hey, he wanted to go. He kind of wanted to retire, and so he's like, "Hey, I want to go to this beautiful country,"
I was like, "That's so Southeast Asia right there." I was like, "Oh, he could have gone to the beach or yacht." I was like, "Oh wow, he goes to Asia. Cool."
Yeah, exactly. I think that's how it was in the comic, the Infinity Gauntlet. After everything that happens, he I don't want to spoil it for. I mean, this is a spoiler talk, but for the book, it's kind of it's an adaptation, so it's kind of similar. But yeah, man, I thought that too. I thought we were gonna see one of the major players die. Like I told my brother and my friends that I went to go see the movie with. I was like, if Captain America died, I would have lost it.
Yeah,
I would just start bawling. Yeah, I thought, there was that one little scene where Thanos stabs Tony Stark, and I thought that was going to be it,
That was
it. Yeah, he kind of just healed, I guess, and we'll see how that ends up. But I kind of want to start talking now about Thanos because I feel like it was really his movie. This movie kind of just, I mean, to be honest, he's probably my favorite MCU villain, and he was just so well done in this. Just a lot of character to him. And I think the Russos said that that they cut his backstory. But for me, it was like, we got enough for him to kind of, not necessarily care for him in an emotional, like we were rooting for him, but we got enough to understand him,
I think, well, I grew up a DC fan, a Superman fan, so I didn't grow up reading Marvel comics. So my friend who's a Marvel comic kind of guy, he told me that, Thanos' backstory, and you can probably correct me if I'm wrong, has to do with his obsession with this physical form of death. And in the movie, it kind of got replaced by his obsession with Gamora. So all to kind of show that he's not one-dimensional, because you don't want a one-dimensional villain. So that's apparently the Russo's take on Thanos. That okay, this guy cared about Gamora. But it also brings me up to like another question. Like I don't know how well you know about the Infinity War story arc in the comic books. People told me like not half the universe, but everybody actually died. And there's something about Doctor Strange turning back to time or whatever. So I want to hear actually what the diehard Infinity War story arc comic book fans think about the movie. About Thanos, about the changes that the Russos made, and whether they are as stoked as the movie as I am. Because I don't know much about Marvel comics, and I love I love at least the storytelling approach of this film. Yeah, go ahead, bro.
Yeah, definitely from the comic, I do think they took a lot of changes. There's a lot of characters like Mephisto, Silver Surfer, Galactus that show up, and literally almost a lot of great, big, powerful characters show up and kind of try to do what they can versus Thanos. But yeah, I think Doctor Strange does something. He does have a big part in the graphic novel, but at the end, it's kind of Nebula who kind of takes the gauntlet from Thanos out of all people. And then they actually try to recruit him to try to help the Avengers and everybody who's left try to stop Thanos. I mean, the Nebula actually. So it's different, definitely.
I think if I may interject also, that's a good point, because remember when the Avengers 2012 movie came out, and there's some people who are like, how's this gonna work out? Because Ant-Man the Wasp, or Ant-Man at least, he's part of the Avengers. He created the Avengers. So, but Marvel Studios made it work. So there's always this thing where they, in comparison to WB's DCEU, when it comes to Marvel, even though there's alteration or they take out some stuff, or some elements are not in there that were in the comics, somehow they just make it work.
Yeah, exactly. I think, yeah, you hit it right on the nail. It's like some things are out there, but they, like Guardians of the Galaxy, we didn't really hear about. I at least didn't know about them, and they found a way to make it work, like a talking raccoon, in a tree, So if anything, yeah, like I had no doubt in my mind that they can make something like this storyline, and even play around with the Infinity Gauntlet powers. Kind of like turning Drax into stone little pieces and stuff like that. So yeah, about Thanos, going back to him, like I said, I think they did enough to make us kind of understand his motives and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. And just that whole scene, I think we kind of just brushed off the fact that the Red Skull came back finally. Yeah. We finally, I freaked out. I was like, holy shit, like that was just awesome. Like, I was not expecting that. I thought they were just going to brush it off, but he was there. I thought they used him really well. Mm-hmm. And it was just amazing, the fact that we got to see Thanos and Red Skull side by side. That was amazing.
I know. And man, they were so close to getting the gauntlet off of him. But I can understand, I wasn't too pissed at Peter Quill, because I could understand if I was in his position, I would be pissed too. I probably wouldn't be able to think rationally. So, that I don't blame him. Definitely.
Yeah, definitely. I really felt that too. You did have a few scenes earlier with Gamora and Star-Lord kind of, just with each other and kind of with the whole in the mix of the whole situation. And then that's what I love about the MCU, that they had all 18 movies leading up to this, because you do have those past movies with the relationship between Gamora and Star-Lord that makes you care about them. And also that scene too, when Star-Lord was gonna shoot her, and obviously the gun was turned into bubbles. That was just an amazing scene too. And I think to be honest, I think the Guardians of the Galaxy might have like been the more prominent players in this. I guess they do have a little bit more connection with Thanos, but I really like what they did with all those characters, even Nebula as well.
Yeah, my favorite stone, or the one that freaks me out the most, has got to be reality. Because you just don't know what you're actually seeing. You know what I'm saying? That part where they're in the collectors or the nowhere world is like, and everything just changes into burning down or burned down. I was like, holy crap! I had no idea. Yeah. Reality Stone is the one that freaks me out the most, I think.
Yeah, definitely. They did a lot of interesting, real cool things that I didn't really think they would do, because again, like in the comic, it's really out there. Like in the comic, I believe Thanos like freezes Thor's head in like an ice cube and just smashes it, and then he takes all the adamantium out of Wolverine, and Wolverine's basically just rubber. So it was really cool to see that they kind of did a lot of out there things with the powers and stuff like that. And I thought that was really cool too. Kind of Thanos pulled a fast one on everybody and just kind of said, nope, this is actually the real reality. You didn't kill me.
Damn, he's so good. He's so good. He's so badass.
Yeah, I really thought that they were right. I don't know. Thanos was just he was amazing in this. I'm glad that they really handled him well. And I don't know what else to talk about. The stuff in Wakanda was great as well. Seeing everybody kind of work together. I do want to point out though that one scene in the trailer where they're all running towards something. You know, when Hulk is Hulk as well. It wasn't there.
I think it was and that's not the only part of the trailer that was misleading. They're trying to keep this whole thing really underlit, like because there's a lot of spoilers, or surprises in this movie. So a trailer, giving you one thing and the movie giving you another it's a pretty tricky move, a pretty smart move, because otherwise people are like talking about how Hulk is obviously got so beaten down or got beat up by Thanos that he's so scared to get out from to unleash himself. So now Bruce Banner had to use a Hulkbuster. That would be a spoiler thing if you put that in the trailer, because like, whoa, everybody's like, why is he wearing a Hulkbuster instead of becoming a Hulk? So I think it's a pretty smart move on their part, I think. What do you think?
Yeah, definitely. I think they actually did a great move in adding that scene in the trailer, because a lot of times that's why I kind of don't really like seeing trailers for big movies like this, because you're kind of expecting that scene. Like, you're like, okay, well, this scene hasn't happened yet, so when is it going to happen? And to be honest, when everything was going down, I was like, where's the scene? When is it going to happen? When is Hulk going to Hulk out? And it didn't. It just never came in, and I thought that was really cool. And also an interesting thing, now that you kind of mentioned it real quick, I really like that too. Like, obviously Hulk, he got his ass kicked by Thanos, and that's why he didn't want to come out. He was scared of coming out again. But I do like that Bruce Banner was able to use his kind of smarts and stuff like that to eventually defeat that big abomination-looking dude. I don't really know his name, but that was really cool. And then I really like those little the children of Thanos, the like Ebony Moss and stuff like that. They were actually really cool villains. I really liked how they handled them.
Yeah, and they were pretty vicious. And they're really skilled when it comes to fighting. So it's very how to go a formidable foe. There you go. Another thing also that my friend points out is that Scarlet Witch's accent is gone. So they pretty much took out.
Oh, that's right.
Elizabeth Olsen is now American now. It's no more Wanda. Whatever Russian name
Maximoff.
is.
Yeah, that's right. I didn't notice that until now. Hey, this is Scarlet Witch,
I guess maybe hanging out with Paul Bettany kind of rubs off on her. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know. Maybe, I mean, that was a character choice. She's probably saying, "Hey, I live in America now," or actually, I don't know where she was, because they all went into hiding after Civil War. But
exactly,
I don't know. That's a good thing that you pointed out. I did not notice that. That's funny though.
Funny, right? I'm sure the Honest Trailers Screen Junkies will use that too.
Yeah, definitely. And then Tyler Calvert is actually saying, yeah, the accent being gone bothered me too.
I love it. I want to also talk about the fact that the teamwork, it really, like you said, the one that they almost got the gauntlet off. I was thinking, like, whose plan was that? Was that Star-Lord's plan, or was that Iron Man?
Yeah, definitely. I love that scene too, because it's both kind of like, you kind of see the arrogance and kind of, they're trying to take the leadership, both of them, and you kind of don't, at the end, you kind of don't know whose plan did they end up going with, which was, we can talk about that too. The movie was actually surprisingly really funny as well.
Yes.
I mean, Marvel always has a way that makes the movies funny, but I know that you're not a big fan of Thor Ragnarok. So do you think the comedy was handled better in this?
Dude, this is the first time Thor is actually cool. I want to say that. Oh, yeah. I know you're probably fans of the previous 3 Thor movies. I was not too big a fan of them. So when I saw, when that scene where Thor was in Wakanda and he jumped high, and then the everything just turned purple, it gets electrifying. I was like,
Yeah.
holy crap, that is awesome.
Yeah, that scene was pretty cool. Everybody in the theater cheered, because he came back with Groot and Rocket as well, and then the Winter Soldier and Rocket had a little moment as well. That was really cool.
That was
Just the fact that we got to see a lot of these characters interact with each other was great. Like, I love that Thor went off with Rocket and Groot, and Rocket kind of trying to. You see why Rocket is a valuable team member in the Guardians. Kind of also his character is really great. He's like. That he had that little moment with Thor. He's like, okay, now time to be the captain. He goes to talk to him. He's like, hey, are you ready for this? Like, I really like that about this movie, how like each character, surprisingly, there's like 65 characters, but I feel like they got their moment as well.
I agree. I think that was one of the concerns, right? When you have so many characters, how are you gonna balance it? One will get neglected, one will get more screen time than the others. It won't be fair. But man, the way they did this for this movie, it was like well balanced. Even the tone too, very well balanced. And I just want to say also, if I may, theorizing about Avengers 4.
Yeah.
Because we talked about it earlier, how somehow Kevin Feige, the Russo brothers, the screenwriters, McFeely and Marcus, I think their names, they just make it work. Like if for example, and I'm sure you being a Marvel fan would know the character Adam Warlock.
Warlock, yeah.
Exactly. So he's supposed to be the one that kind of equal to Thanos. But we never had a history of Adam Warlock in any of the previous 18 Marvel MCU movies. So I don't know how they're gonna bring him out for Avengers 4. But again, even if they're not bringing out Adam Warlock, if, for example, they bring out Ronan, Jeremy Renner as Ronan, or they bring out Ant-Man and the Wasp in Avengers 4, or Captain Marvel, I think I have so much faith in Feige and the guys that I think they're just going to make it work somehow. People will be like, oh, this is not the same in the comic. The comic, Adam Warlock shows up. But you know what? I like this version too. I think that might be something that could happen.
No, yeah, definitely. They found a way to make it work. I think they really understand these characters at this point. Like you said, it was 18 movies in the making, and yeah, I think in that Infinity Gauntlet graphic novel, Adam Warlock does have a big part as well. We did get a glimpse of him in Guardians 2 at the end, with the Solvern people, but I feel like it would have been too much for this movie to have him show up and kind of explain, why he's really powerful and stuff like that. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he does have the Soul Stone in the comic book. So I think they did change that for the film. And I think maybe he's probably going to be a more prominent character in Guardians 3. Yeah. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what Avengers 4 is going to look like. Who's going to come back, and are they going to include like Captain Marvel or even Ant-Man and the Wasp? And I think that's the only movies we're getting from now until the fourth Avengers. But yeah, it's going to be a long year, man. It's kind of it's not necessarily a cliffhanger, but it kind of is because we want to see like how is this going to be resolved if it's even going to get resolved at all,
Yeah, and another thing also is like, how's Tony Stark gonna get down from Titan? But then again, he probably is gonna depend on his smarts and wits, and build himself a spaceship or something.
Yeah,
he's probably gonna pull a Matt Damon and make potato, out of shit. I don't know.
The Martian.
But I was like, it'll be interesting to see Tony Stark and Nebula dynamic, how they're gonna work together to get themselves out, because they don't have a portal, So we'll see how that works.
Everybody else faded until dust. It's just Tony and Nebula. That's gonna be interesting as well.
I think. Sorry, I keep rambling on, but my friend pointed out this too. I wanted to ask for your opinion on that. That Doctor Strange, I think he said something along the line of, because he was formulating all these way outs, right? And he said only one works in their favor. Right?
Yeah. Like this was the only way or something like that. Exactly. Oh yeah, and then, yeah, he said it's like 14 million or something.
Exactly. So I think because my friend said the reason why he chose to save Tony Stark, because remember he said like, I'll give you the stone, if you let him live. What I'm saying? He said that to him. Because I think that one one way out that he got when he was foreseeing things involves Tony Stark being alive.
Yeah,
That
exactly.
it had to happen. That it's okay that I died, but you have to live because you're the one that's gonna be able to solve this. I don't know how, but I think you see what I'm getting.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. I feel like that too. Because at the end, they kind of did look at each other before Doctor Strange faded away. He
Yeah,
did say, "Hey, this is the only way," or that was the only way, something along the lines of that.
exactly.
I think maybe this is the plan that or the version of where everything is okay. Just some things have to happen in order for them to win at the end. Like some characters dying or something like that. Um, but based on the pictures and the leaks of the set of Avengers 4, we do see kind of people from like in the same uniforms and costumes of Avengers, the first one. So and then Ant-Man's there. So
Hmm.
maybe in the Ant-Man and the Wasp movie it's going to be explained or something, because I know they said that and the Ant-Man and the Wasp film is taking place before the
Hmm.
events of Avengers Infinity War. So maybe they're going to go on another adventure and maybe explain why they were absent.
Hmm.
Um, but yeah, man, it's just I'm gonna go see it again tomorrow morning in IMAX this time, because I saw it in Adobe Digital in IMAX and AMC.
No,
So I have to see it again to kind of take everything in this time, where I was just kind of left in awe, of this amazing movie. And yeah, man, I don't know what else to say. We can go on and on
I'm glad.
forever
I'm
with
glad Loki
this.
died, though. I'm glad Loki died. Loki, man.
Yeah, hope. I mean, I like that character, but hopefully he does stay dead. I mean, I do like that if he does stay dead. I do like the way he went out. He
Yeah,
was kind of,
it was
you
really
know,
cool.
we thought he was gonna be bad again, trying to help Thanos, because that's how he's been all along. And but he was trying to kill
Well,
him at the end, and he was killed right in front of his brother. So
yeah, it was dramatic. I love it too, brother. And if only though, I think my friend also said this, and I'm sorry I can't take the credit, but he said if only though that MCU or Marvel had not announced that there's gonna be Spider-Man 2, Homecoming 2, because they already announced it. Because if it's like if only they just keep that on the lid, and because that would make the death of Spider-Man in Infinity War even more impactful. He's like, because we don't know. Oh, are they gonna greenlight the sequel or not? But now they already announced it, so it makes you
yeah,
feel like he's gonna be fine. It's like
yeah, definitely. It would have been even more like ballsy for them to like just announce this Infinity War one. That way, like we're
yeah,
like, wait, what the heck? Like, there's not a fourth one coming. But
right.
um, I think they're smart because they haven't announced all the Phase 4 movies. I mean, we do know we're getting
That's
Guardians
true.
3 and Spider-Man 2, and we're all assuming that there's going to be a Doctor Strange sequel, even Ant-Man 3 and stuff like that, Black Panther 2. Um, but now, I mean, they haven't really said anything about Black Panther 2. So like, is he gonna stay dead, or is Suri gonna take over? So yeah, I agree with them. I think they should have just kept everything under wraps until like Comic Con this year, or D23 Expo or whatever.
Mhm.
Because I know they're gonna skip Comic Con this year,
That's true.
because they have their own little announcements and stuff like that. So yeah, I agree that if they didn't announce that, Spider-Man's death would have been more
I,
impactful. That was pretty hard to watch too. How kind of Peter saying he's like, "Hey, I don't want to die. I don't want to die." I was like, "Oh man, that's gotta hurt," because Tony Stark, he's got to be feeling extremely responsible for that, because it's all on him basically.
yeah, no, I agree. And in it's mentor mentoree, they have that bond. Speaking of which, Spider-Man: Homecoming was to me felt also kind of like Iron Man 3.5 because Iron Man is so
Yeah,
involved in that. So I'm glad that Infinity Wars is not somebody's 1.5. It's not Black Panther 1.5. It's not Guardians of the Galaxy 2.5. It was so balanced, man. Everybody get their thing, balance between humor and drama. Oh man, the Russo brothers are just excellent storytellers. I'm not surprised why they get hired and hired again and again by Marvel. I am surprised, however, why WB keeps hiring Zack Snyder, but that's another story, another conversation. So yeah, those are my thoughts.
no, yeah, definitely. I think I seen an interview where the Russo brothers were saying like, "Hey, we kind of want to do other things, but we do love the relationship we have with Marvel, and we wouldn't be we wouldn't, close the doors on doing another thing for Marvel. So I mean, they've been on fire ever since they, the Winter Soldier was a fantastic movie. Captain America: Civil War was,
So good.
again, amazing. And this one is no different. I'll put it up there with those films, And yeah, I think I want to end things there, Rama. Where does this film rank? Is it in your top 5, top 10 of MCU films?
Okay, so before or prior to screening Avengers Infinity War, I don't know if I mentioned to you, the top 3 for me was the Avengers 2012, excuse me, Civil War, and then Ant-Man. I just love Ant-Man.
Awesome. Yeah, that was like I did not see that coming. But yeah, Ant-Man is great. Ant-Man is enjoyable.
But now it's the Avengers Infinity War, Civil War.
Wow, that's awesome. I gotta. It's definitely in my top 5 for sure. I have to rearrange. I don't know what's gonna leave from my top 5 right now. I think it's
go ahead.
Civil War, The Winter Soldier, the first Avengers, Guardians, the first one, and Iron Man. I'm not sure which one I'm gonna take out of, but it's right up there.
Okay. If I may. So it's, to me, the Avengers Infinity War, Captain America: Civil War, and then 50 Feet of Crap, and then Thor Ragnarok right there.
Hey, man, I respect your opinion, man. I respect your opinion. I don't agree with you, but hey. And also, Tyler Calvert just wants to point out that Rama sucks out in boxings.
Thank you, Tyler.
I love that video put together, man. Responding to the comments, it was priceless. But yeah, guys, I'm sorry I'm gonna have to end things, but yeah, Rama, thank you so much for stopping by to join me for this spoiler talk. And guys, go check out Rama's channel. He sucks at unboxings, but I promise he does everything else great. Interviews with celebrities, early reviews for movies, and everything like that. And yeah, join me tomorrow sometime in the morning. I will have my non-spoiler review of Avengers Infinity War. Head over to Rama's channel. He does have some Infinity War videos, like a review as well. So check that out. And yeah, Rama, is there anywhere else people can find you?
That's it. YouTube.com/RamaScreen1. Subscribe.
All right, guys. So make sure to leave some comments in the comment section down below what you guys thought about Infinity War and anything that you guys heard in this spoiler talk. But yeah, until next time, we'll catch you later and we'll see you at the movies. Bye, guys.